Coming up on Public Eye News, we have breaking news regarding Betsy DeVos's confirmation as the head of the Department of Education. We also have information on the exploratory drilling in the Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park.
Weatherman Todd Rose will tell us how much longer we can expect snowfall, and Jacob Oja will tell us about NMU's own Ate Tolvanen scoring some goals and receiving some honors from the WCHA. I'm Dan Kampanen.
And I'm Charles Owsley. Welcome to Public Eye News. A three-vehicle crash blocked up the intersection of US 41 and Teal Lake Avenue in Negaunee around 7:30 this morning. Police say that a car traveling eastbound to Marquette slid through the stoplight. The collision occurred when another car failed to yield and crashed into the first vehicle. One person was taken to the hospital and their condition has yet to be released. Please remember to use caution when traveling on roads during this time of the year, as roads can be slippery. And speaking of snowy roads, the Michigan Department of Transportation has added a new feature to their website. At mi.gov/drive, users can track snowplows working around the Upper Peninsula and see what they're doing, whether it be plowing, applying salt, or whatever else. Many of the plows also have dashboard cameras so users can see exactly what the plow drivers see as they work. However, the GPS system only tracks MDOT plows and not County Road Commission or private plows, and is not accessible on mobile devices.
If you've driven down Sugarloaf Avenue in Marquette, you might have seen some older A-frame log cabins lighting the road. That community will soon be the site of a brand new student housing complex, filling what city officials call a large void in the housing market. According to a recent study by the city, there's a demand for 1,968 apartment-style housing units in the Marquette area. Not only will the future complex begin to fill that gap, but it'll also provide NMU students another housing option besides on-campus residence halls or renting out a home in town. The current owners of the Sugarloaf Villas have had the property on and off the market for the past few years, so it was easy to get permission to build. And a Canadian copper mining company began exploratory drilling in Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park this weekend. On Monday, the Michigan DNR announced that Highland Copper of Quebec began drilling the first of 21 mining exploration holes. The DNR issued a use permit on January 31st for the exploratory drilling. Despite Deputy DNR spokesperson John Pepin ensuring the public that the natural beauty of the park will not be harmed, environmental groups were quick to protest the drilling.
The price tag to make improvements to Flint's water treatment plants will be around $108 million, according to a consultant's final report. The engineering and construction company CDM Smith estimates the cost will be higher than what was previously stated in a draft report from December. The amount includes demolition fees, upgrades in pump and transfer stations, and $37 million for the construction of two 21 million gallon concrete water storage tanks. The CDM report estimates that the work can be completed between August 2019 and October 2020. And more than 100 people crowded outside a meeting Monday night in Ann Arbor as the city council discussed President Trump's recent executive order. The order threatens so-called sanctuary cities for housing undocumented immigrants and block their federal funding. The protesters called for the council to officially declare Ann Arbor as a sanctuary city. The city council did not resolve that issue and made no commitments to any policies. The resolution is directing the city attorney to research and provide advice on possible policies to protect the rights of the city and its people. And after a brief break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
When Spy in the Wild continues, we delve into the world of animal intelligence. A new cast of spy creatures has been deployed to reveal how these clever animals use tools, solve problems, and pass on knowledge to the next generation, all from a whole new perspective.
Wednesday at 8 after PBS NewsHour on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. Today, the Senate confirmed school choice advocate Betsy DeVos is Education Secretary by the narrowest of margins. Vice President Mike Pence broke a 50-50 tie in a historic vote to approve DeVos, a first according to Senate historian. Two Republicans joined Democrats in the unsuccessful effort to derail the nomination of the wealthy Republican donor. Democrats cited her lack of public school experience and financial interest in organizations pushing charter schools. DeVos has said she would divest herself from those organizations. Despite the win, DeVos's image is bruised from this highly divisive nomination process. And the stage is set for a courtroom showdown over President Donald Trump's controversial ban targeting people traveling to the United States from 7 predominantly Muslim countries. After a flurry of legal filings over the weekend, a San Francisco-based federal appellate court will hear arguments later today by phone over whether the ban should be reinstated after a federal judge temporarily suspended it. Weijia Zhang reports from Washington.
President Donald Trump's executive order that prohibits travel to the U.S. for refugees and citizens from 7 predominantly Muslim countries faces an important legal test later today. An appellate court will hear arguments over the controversial ban. This morning, the president said he's ready for a long legal battle.
We're going to take it through the system. It's very important. It's very important for the country, regardless of me or whoever succeeds at a later date. I mean, we have to have security in our country.
In court papers filed Monday night, the Justice Department argued the move was within Mr. Trump's authority, saying Congress has granted the president broad discretion, and the order was pursuant to broad grants of statutory authority. But lawyers for 2 states that sued to stop the ban warned the appeals court the ban would unleash chaos again, separating families, stranding our university students and faculty, and barring travel. A decision could come immediately after today's hearing or within the next few days. But whatever the outcome, legal experts expect the fight to end up in the Supreme Court. When a federal judge temporarily suspended the travel ban on Friday, some people from the affected countries entered the U.S., leading to tearful reunions at airports nationwide.
People have been sad, angry, upset, happy, so I think it's been an emotional roller coaster for the family.
An emotional ride that isn't expected to end anytime soon. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
In more presidential news, Iran's supreme leader said that newcomer President Donald Trump had shown the real face of our country. These comments were made in response to Trump's accusation of Iran being ungrateful for relief sanctions approved by the Obama administration. Last week, Trump tweeted that the Middle Eastern country was playing with fire and vowed to take a tougher stance on relief. Iranian leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said that he was confused about what he should be thankful for. He also said that his people are not afraid of any threats. And President Trump is expected to visit Britain later this year, but he's facing heated opposition from many Brits and some key politicians. The Speaker of Britain's House of Commons railed against Mr. Trump, saying that he should not be allowed to address Parliament. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports from London.
Our opposition to racism and to sexism, and our support for equality before the law and an independent judiciary are hugely important considerations in the House of Commons.
It was a surprisingly strong statement of opinion from a man who's supposed to be impartial, but it went down well with many MPs.
Well done.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. But Prime Minister Theresa May, who appeared to hit it off with Donald Trump on her official visit to the U.S. last month, stressed the UK-US partnership.
We should engage patiently and constructively with America as a friend and ally.
Many Britons object to President Trump's policies, and in particular his executive order suspending immigration from 7 Muslim-majority countries. An online petition called on the UK government to cancel the president's official state visit. It already has 1.8 million signatures. There have, of course, been controversial state visits before. Chinese President Xi in 2015 faced opposition for his country's human rights abuses. Nevertheless, he got to address Parliament and dine with the Queen. It's pomp and ceremony like that that President Trump can expect when, or if, he comes. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
Stay tuned, because after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports.
Coming up on Austin City Limits.
Saturday night at 11.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Todd Rose here to take a look at your weather. As you can see behind me on the Northern Michigan campus, we got quite a bit of snow and it's still coming down. So if you're going to be going out for a drive later tonight, make sure you drive carefully and get those shovels ready. So current conditions, we have some snow falling from the sky. Temperature 23 degrees, winds northeast at 10 miles an hour, and a barometric pressure 29.5 inches and falling. Moving into tonight, the snow is going to be hanging around. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect until midnight, so keep that in mind, as our temperature is going to be a low of 11 degrees with winds north-northwest at 25 miles an hour. Looking at tomorrow, we're going to have some clouds hanging around. The snow is going to move away, and we're going to have a high of 14, winds northwest at 17 miles an hour. Taking a look around the UP, over in Sault Ste. Marie over here, we got 22 degrees and cloudy. Manistique, we have 23 degrees and cloudy. Down in Escanaba, same thing with this cloudy skies, but 26 degrees and 32 degrees in Menominee. Looking over to the west side of the UP, 24 degrees in both Ironwood and Iron Mountain. We do have some snow in Ironwood. Up in Houghton, we have 27 degrees and snowing. And back here in Marquette, it's 23 degrees and snowing. And taking a look at our week ahead, on Thursday, we're going to have a high of 14, a low of 3 degrees, and it's going to be a cloudy day. Friday, we have some snow in our forecast with a high of 29, a low of 25. And Saturday, we have a high of 33 with a low of 23 and some clouds. Well, Jacob, we don't have the best weather around here, but I hope the Patriots had a good forecast for their Super Bowl parade.
It's tough to have a bad forecast when you're the Super Bowl champions.
That's right.
Anyway, the New England Patriots victory parade took place today in Boston. Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady said, quote, "I told you we were going to bring this sucker home, and we brought it home," end quote. The Patriots came back from a 25-point deficit to beat the Atlanta Falcons in overtime, 34-28 on Sunday. New England broke the record for the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history, which previously stood at 10 points. Tom Brady now has more Super Bowls than any other QB in NFL history, as well as the most Super Bowl MVPs. NMU hockey goalie Ante Tolvanen was named Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. He had 75 saves and 2 straight shutouts as the Wildcats swept Bowling Green last Friday and Saturday. Tolvanen has had the best goals against average, 1.23, shutouts 3 this year, and is second in save percentage with a .957 percentage in the entire country. NMU's next hockey game is this Friday against Alaska Fairbanks, with the puck drop scheduled for 7:07. On to some college hoops. The Michigan State Spartans will travel to the Chrysler Center tonight to take on the Michigan Wolverines in a Big Ten showdown. The Spartans are 5th in the Big Ten, while the Wolverines are in 10th place. Tip-off is scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Michigan State is currently projected as an 8th seed for the tournament, while Michigan is currently projected to miss March Madness next month. It's really amazing, Dan, what you can buy on eBay nowadays.
Yeah, and it seems like Harambe might live on for just a little bit longer.
He'll always live on in our hearts.
Yes. Someone bid nearly $100,000 on eBay for a Cheeto that bears the resemblance to slain gorilla Harambe. The seller said he found the cheese snack in a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and bidding began at $11.99 on January 28th. It ended earlier this morning with a winning bid of $999,900. The listing showed a picture of the Cheetos side by side with the gorilla climbing a tree. Harambe has become fodder for internet jokes since his death in late May. And that's all the time we have for you today here at Public Eye News, folks. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.